Red, same question, I guess, going into overtime, you lost that 2-goal lead late. What did you say to your guys? What did you sense about their
We
moves?
said, hey, look, you know, we had played a really good game offensively, obviously, and we had made some mistakes defensively. And so we knew we were capable of winning and having the right mindset going into overtime was important. So there was no Coach Red doing orangutan, angry that, you know, we gave up the tying goal. You know, that wasn't going to help at that moment, you know, despite what my feelings may have been to the contrary. So, you know, and our people responded. I mean, that's important to, you know, bad things happen, you know. We don't practice to give up leads. We don't practice to make mistakes defensively and everything else. But sometimes in the heat of the game, and you're playing an opponent with some very good offensive players. You know, they're young, but a lot of those kids are very good offensive players. And so if you're not exactly in the right spot at the right time, you know what I mean, they can make a play. You know, which obviously they did tonight. So the fact that we stuck with it, you know what I mean, is pretty cool. You know, and it's important.
Pretty much your wife said going into overtime, let's attack this. You know, let's
Yeah, and we talked about playing smart. You know, like puck management was an issue at times for us. You know, we gave up some chances because we made less than ideal decisions with the puck. We talked about keeping the play in front of us. That caused us problems at different times in the game. You know, on the 5th goal, they passed it right through one of our players who didn't have his stick on the ice in the defensive zone. That's a fundamental, you know what I mean? That's what college kids do. Sometimes NHL pros do that too, which is how you end up getting a bus ticket to the American leagues. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. But people make mistakes like that, and we learn from each time out there. This is a very good UMass team. They're young like we are, but they're very talented, and they pose a formidable task, you know, and play against them every night. I mean, that's a team that beat Michigan State at Michigan State, beat Northeastern at Northeastern, so they must have something. They must have something.
Red, your first response when they tied that 3-3, that goal by Devin 20 seconds ago in the second period seemed really huge, just momentum-wise.
Yeah, and I thought about calling a timeout. I thought about it. Then I said, you know what? Let's see how our team reacts. Because, you know, the moment I call a timeout, there's the psychological, subconscious suggestion, perhaps, that, you know, there's something wrong. Truth be told, in the second period, we dominated the period, and it was like every time they got a chance, they put it in. Do you know what I'm saying? So we had played reasonably well. There were a couple of things I didn't like. I didn't think we sprinted to our positions, like on the forecheck, the way we do when we're at our best. We didn't keep the play in front of us the way we should. In other words, we made bad decisions when it was time to retreat. We didn't retreat, and then they put the puck by us for 2-on-1s and things like that. So, you know, we talked about that at the end of the second period. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, the other team's pretty good. You make a mistake, they make you pay. You know, we were pretty good tonight, too. I think we got 6 goals. All right? And this is a team that started the year scoring 3 goals in 3 games. Okay? So let's try to accentuate the positive here. We know no one's happy, you know, because we didn't play a perfect game. But again, tonight I saw improvement in certain phases of our game. If I had told you before the game, Maine is going to score 6 goals, you guys would have looked at me and said, Coach Red, you've been buying some illegal substances and smoking. No, right? So these are very positive things, and we will continue to grow each and every single time we play, each and every time we practice, and we'll see where that takes us. But we know we have to be way better tomorrow.
How about Red Morris? Obviously, some of them not his fault. How do you assess him?
Every puck that goes in is the goalie's fault, Larry, okay? Because his job is to stop the puck. I'm sorry to say, okay? That's just how it is, all right? The goalie's job is to stop the puck. If we played perfect hockey, absolutely perfect hockey, we wouldn't even need a goalie because we'd be so perfect they wouldn't ever get a shot on net, right? Okay? So the goalie's job is to stop the puck. And Matt's not gonna run and hide from it, you know what I mean? Some of the pucks with bad luck, blah, 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 but that's his job, is to stop the puck. So we want him to do his job, we want the defensemen to do their job, we want the forwards to do their job, that's bottom line. And you either do it or you don't do it. And like I've told you guys here a million times, we don't make excuses and we don't let other people make excuses for us. End of story.
Final question?
Morgan's goal, obviously, he was very active all night. It's just his first goal.
Brian had a terrific game, okay? He made the play when it counted. That's hard to do, okay? It's like making that 3-footer when you're playing with your buddies and there are no quarters on the line, but then all of a sudden, you know, a guy like you, Mark, there's a quarter on the line, you're either gonna win the match or not. I see you knocking it by 6 feet, okay? But great athletes, they get an opportunity like that, they make the play. And Brian Morgan made the play tonight. Kudos for him. He did his job to put us in the win column the first game in Hockey East. And everybody played their tails off, like we usually do here at Maine. That has to be a constant. It's got to be a given every night if we're going to have a chance to win, and we had that.
Stephen mentioned earlier that Devin Shore told them that this was sort of the start of the new first Hockey East game, sort of start of the new season. What
Sure.
does winning this game in overtime do for the confidence of the team?
Well, it's hugely uplifting, right? I mean, if we tie the game, or worse yet, lose it, after having a 3-goal and a 2-goal lead, right? All of a sudden, psychologically, I mean, you know, like the coach can tell them, hey, let it go, blah, 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 but you know how that feels, right? So obviously, there's a great feeling down in the locker room, and my job tomorrow is gonna be to make sure we point out the things that we have to do better so that we can win the next game. Because you know what? After I get done talking to you, this one's over. Nothing else need be said. You know, we move forward to tomorrow. What did Belichick say? On to Cincinnati.
One last quick question, Coach. Malcolm Hayes has been pretty effective on the power play. This game scores goal, been pretty tough to beat in the last couple times. What does he bring to your special teams?
6'2", 220, 6% body fat. I mean, he can't be moved. You know what I mean? He's a physical specimen. You know, I've been coaching for 35 years. I've never been able to teach size. God knows I've tried. You know what I mean? But we can teach him to pass, shoot, teach him to read plays, make plays, stuff like that. But we can't teach size. And he has that, and he knows how to use it. And the kid has great passion for the game. He loves to play. He loves to practice. He's a phenomenal teammate. His teammates love him. All right, he takes care of the guy on his right and the guy on his left. That's what he does every day. So everybody in that dressing room is pretty happy for Malcolm Hayes. Everything he's gotten so far, he's earned. Nobody's given it to him. He's earned it, and that's always a cool story.